Hello, everybody, and welcome to this chat with James Driver from DS28. Thanks for joining me, James.
Thanks for having me.
Why don't you do a quick intro for everybody?
So I graduated from King's College in modern world history. Then after that, I went to work for a music retailer for about a year and a half. That was just before the pandemic hit when I started, and a month into my job, it was full lockdown, everyone working from home. So it was quite a lot of adapting, and it was a music retail industry. So it was a business very heavily affected by the pandemic and Brexit. So a lot of challenges, a lot of interesting work. That's where I was sort of given some freedom to work on some projects to start exploring our company's data. And I was merging our marketing data with our logistics data to help the marketing team get some campaign action going. Really enjoyed it. And then came across the information lab, and I realized I wanted to do a career in this. And then one long application process later, which was really amazing. That's when I think my first meet and greet, that's when I realized definitely want to go to this place. It's the best place to go for a career in data. And so far it's proven absolutely right.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. Yeah. So most of your professional life so far has been virtual. How has that kind of impacted you, do you think?
I think it's a notable change when we're in the office a bit more now, interacting with people. I know in the data school, it's like with our group of 8, it's probably a bit more of a fun environment, but it's definitely weird going from always meeting people on Zoom and always asking people that their mic's turned off, and then going to meet them in person, and then having more casual chats.
And nobody's wearing headphones, right?
Yeah, everyone can hear you.
Yeah. What have you enjoyed the most so far during training?
Probably just the constant learning. So every week you're looking at new topics. There's always something great to explore that, whether you've been introduced to it the first time or whether you're building on something. And because Alteryx and Tableau are such great pieces of software to develop and learn across, I think that's probably been the best part. Just constantly getting the new challenges and always feel like you're progressing and being able to see your progression.
What are you looking forward to the most in your placements?
Just seeing how everything's going to play out in practice, because it's great when you're learning and you're given the challenges with a start and end result, and you have to solve your way to that end result. But it's a little less defined, I think, on a placement. So it's a bit more of a combination of the skills we've learned, and I just want to, well, I'm definitely interested to see how that's going to pan out in a business environment, which sounds quite boring, but
no, I understand completely. Yeah, basically taking what you've learned and doing the practical application of it.
Definitely.
Yeah. What did you learn the most as a project lead?
So there was the project I was working in was with some very complex data. So there was a lot of communication back and forth with DHL was the one I was looking at. So keeping up with that communication, I think I was mostly on emails throughout the whole day and setting up Zoom calls of just varying questions back and forth. So the learning experience there is sort of taking a step back from getting involved in the work and getting involved instead in bridging the communication between the rest of my team and the client. So I think communication is definitely the biggest thing I've learned in that one. And also time management. So scoping out a project, realizing midweek what you can and can't do, and then making sure you go to the client and then they know what they're going to see on the end of the week.
Yeah. And what are you all doing differently with your project planning now? So beginning of your training, you all were just accepting all of the scope of the project. What are you all doing differently now in kind of that planning process?
I think the best thing we're doing now is planning out a user journey. So we're starting from scratch of who's the person that's going to be looking at the end result. And then you sort of plan out what they might want to see to get there. And then you could see, okay, are they going to see dashboards? Or they want to see the prep side of it? And that's when you can then start breaking it down to chunks. And I guess the learning process you get over the few months of being here is how much you can tackle. So if you're less confident with Alteryx, then maybe you can't tackle as much, but it's always good to get involved in Alteryx side to try and build your skills. So that's when you can start segmenting it into, okay, this is the user experience. We can solve this part. Let's just focus on getting this part really good.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you
All right,
for having
bye.
me on.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.